Summer breeze makes me feel hot. Fucking tired of living in this desert. It has a fucking sunroof. Bruh, I fucking want that shit for my van. Yes! Oh, and Nellie wants to say good morning to everybody. She's sleeping on the passenger chair. Oh, that's a Chevy. Shit. Good morning. Well, it is about noon at this point. I am currently walking to the CVS to make a deposit. I have already had so much going on this morning. It is crazy, and things are finally clicking and falling into place and have like literally drastically changed overnight. So first thing is that I've been keeping an eye on the Amazon jobs. Obviously, not ideally my first choice for somewhere to work, but it is somewhere that you can get to work fast, you can get paid right away. And so I managed to pick up a shift in Portland, and ironically, it is the same exact shift that I was hired for back in October when I started down this rabbit hole of everything kind of falling apart. So the other thing that happened that randomly fell into place, like I said, everything at the same time, was that a guy had messaged me about purchasing my scooter yesterday morning. This was before I got the job at Amazon. And, you know, he said for sure that he was going to come and he was going to pay me for the scooter today. And I never, you know, count on anything that anybody tells me, but he did. He showed up. He came this morning. I told him anytime after 9 because I'm a late sleeper. He literally showed up at 9:04 and I literally was not even awake yet when I answered the door. So all of that happened. I sold the scooter. So now I am in high gear. I am going to start tinkering with the van. Okay, so I am back home now. Earlier there was a lot of wind and it was just giving me bad sound quality. And as you can see, I was walking, I was hurried, which is what tends to happen. I am a very Energizer Bunny type of a personality. And I was trying to walk and talk and I was so out of breath. So I ran my errands, I got back home. I took a little bit longer than I wanted to because my ADHD kind of went off track. So I did that stuff, went to Trader Joe's, got myself a little groceries, and I came home. So back to, you know, like what's going on currently. So I ended up with telling you guys that I got the position at Amazon, I sold the scooter. So I'm gonna go tinker with the van and see if I can get it running. That was scary. Oh, come on. Oh, she wants to start. She wants to start. Why is it doing that? This is what it did the last time. Oh my God. This is like the third time that I've tried, and this is what it does. It like wants to start, but then after like, how many times did I do that? 4 times, 5 times? And now it's dead. Oh my God. I think I'm taking the train to Portland. Anyways, back to the drawing board. Good morning. So we are up with fingers crossed that we have a good day. I am hopeful today. I have had a bunch of people on my Dodge group try and tell me, you know, what they think is wrong. And it sounds like it's a very simple fix. And I always had believed it was a simple fix, but I don't translate things well from reading it on a text. I am more of a hands-on person. So I need to be shown, like pointed out, like this goes here and you turn it around like this. And especially when it comes to mechanical stuff, it can get confusing. It can get very confusing. And I have the books, I have everything, but the books I have found are not really motherfucking helpful. You know, they show you things, but they don't show you all the things. Like, for example, there is no diagram of like the fuel line setup and all that stuff. I don't know if those are in different books, but you know, because when I was trying to figure out, do I have all my fuel stuff hooked up right? Does this go there? Does this go here? Kind of a thing. Also, with the carburetor, like it shows you how you service it. It tells you step by step how you take it apart, but it doesn't show you any kind of a diagram for like, this is how the choke is hooked up, for example, which is the thing that everyone is saying is probably my problem. So it sounds like, I don't know really honestly how this van has ran and how I made it here, because everyone keeps saying that the choke is hooked up backwards. And it does kind of make sense to me because the guy that I bought it from had said that he rebuilt the carburetor, and this carburetor was missing two parts, which I may or may not have posted. I know I recorded a video about it, but I've been really bad at trying to edit everything and get it up to the channel. So, I mean, it kind of would make sense if it's wrong, because obviously if he did rebuild the carburetor, which I don't really believe he did, he probably just messed it up worse. So, yeah, I don't know. I got to try to figure this out right now. It is 10 o'clock. The guy who was going to help me off of the People Helping People group, I told him to come around 10. I'm hoping that he shows up. He chatted with me. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about. He seemed very helpful. But you just never know. Sometimes people can flake. I had someone who said they would help me once before and he never showed up. So, it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm pressing forward, and, based on what my guys on the forum are saying, if I get this choke set up correctly, it should theoretically start. I did buy the new distributor cap and rotor, and I bought a new voltage regulator, because even though if the choke is wrong, there's still an issue with, after I try like 4 or 5 times to, you know, crank the engine over, then I lose power. So there obviously has to be something else wrong somewhere, but at least we start from here and then we see what we can get going. So let's get to work. It is crazy storming all of a sudden. Like, what is going on? It's like almost the end of March, and people say global warming is not real. It's basically hailing, and there's thunder and lightning. I am sitting in the van because regardless of what's happening outside, I gotta get this van running. This is insane. Okay, so it is back to the drawing board again. So the guy ended up showing up that said he would help me, and we were just kind of going through things, and then we took off the cover from the top part of the carburetor to look down in there and see if like we see gas coming in or whatever. When we took off that little door on the top, we noticed that there was a piece in there that was broken off, and it's not some piece that you can just order. It's like a piece that goes on, it's like a bar, and then it has like a tiny little L-shaped bracket that like connects in to like the thing that lifts the floats up and down, and it's made of plastic, of course. Go figure, you know. These are the things we rely on for our vehicles that we pay a ton of money for, even though this is an old vehicle. Like, I'm sure newer vehicles are no fucking different. And it's just, it's crazy how we pay our hard-earned money for things that we need to rely on every day to get us around, and something as simple as a little plastic piece that is obviously not going to be sold by any dealer or anyone anywhere. It probably doesn't even have a fucking part number. Like, because that piece breaks, I am forced to buy a whole new carburetor. And I don't really have money to be buying a carburetor, which are very expensive. So I bought a cheapo knockoff from Amazon for $80. Other people have said they have success with them. So I got to wait for the new one to get here till Wednesday, and I'm really pushing it to the last minute. Someone is supposed to be coming to buy my other iPhone right now. So hopefully they do, because worst case scenario, if I don't have it going, because even now this is like so last minute that like I'm kind of scared to just like, even if I get it running, like I'm going to throw all my shit in it and pray that I make it the 9 hours to fucking Portland. I guess as long as I make it within 200 miles shy, I could get it towed by my AAA the rest of the way. But anyway, we'll figure it out somehow. So there's a lot going on right now. As you can see, I am sitting in the van. The bad news, the bad news. There has to always be good with the bad. The bad news is that yesterday also, after this guy came and helped me with my van and he left and whatever, I went on with my day. Someone messaged me off of Facebook Marketplace because I had my iPhone up there for sale. So anyway, this guy came and he bought the phone for me and he paid me in cash. It was $500, and I checked all the money. I held it up to the light. I saw the USA 100, like the thing that was running through. I saw the shadow of the other president. The bills were marked 2003, so they were older bills. They looked like older bills to me. They felt like older bills to me. I mean, it's aging me to say I'm old enough to know what old money looks like. I think a lot of people probably don't. So whatever, he left and I thought nothing of it. And then about an hour later, I walked up to the CVS and went to put the money onto my bank. And they told me they couldn't take it. And they're like, I think these bills are fake. And I was like, you're fucking joking me. But then when I got home, I went back, I checked for his profile because I was like, I just don't know. And I want to see, like, to be sure I can grab all his information. So in case there is something, I can make a police report. Of course, his profile was not found. The chat that I had going with him in Marketplace said this person is not available on this chat anymore, which means it was probably a fake profile. And I'm going to tell you, usually I do the first thing is I check their profile to see, which even if their profile is public or private or whatever, you can see the date that the profile was created, and you can see, at least depending on their privacy settings, you can generally almost always see some sort of activity that will be a dead giveaway or a dead ringer that it's probably just a fake profile. So I got scammed. And that was the first time in my life that has ever happened to me. And it really does suck. So anyway, yeah, I was upset and I was frustrated, but I wasn't angry, which is, I think, unusual is maybe the best word I can use to describe it. Like, I am trying to be on this journey, and the reason I want to mention this and the reason I want to share this is because, like, I truly do want to monetize this channel, and I realize that putting myself out there is like, I don't have to do that. Who really cares? Who am I? I'm really nobody in this world, but I'm just out here. I'm telling my truth. I'm sharing my story. But also, like, I think mental health is important, and I want to be able to share, like, how I am growing on my journey as I struggle with mental health. I do struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety. And I also have PTSD after the last relationship that I was in for like almost 9 years. Which I have been out of for about 3.5 years now, but I still struggle with a lot of that stuff. And so basically, getting to the point here, is like the old me would have been probably crying in the corner. I would have been so mad. I would have been so angry. I would have just been like, my life sucks, this is the fucking worst. You know, I just would have been saying all of the negative things, like, how could this happen to me? Which, I'm not gonna lie, like, I did say those things, but it was very short, it was very brief in comparison to like my normal reaction. Because of course it's upsetting, you know. And I also like, I think more than that is like the part where you beat yourself up for like, how could this happen to me? Like, I am not stupid like that, okay? You don't have to take my word for it, but I'm a very smart person. Like, I'm out here, I am fixing a 78 Dodge van. It is like an almost 40-year-old vehicle. I'm smart with computers, to the point where I know how to get the HTML coding to pull images out of a website, because if you're in Facebook Messenger and you're trying to get the person's little icon picture from the chat, like, you're not going to get anything that's usable. But I was able to get the HTML coding and then pull the larger thumbnail, which is still not that big, but it's at least large enough to where it's not blurry now. It's like 100 by 100 pixel image of the guy, so that at least I have something to go for, to give the police and to post on social media to say, like, this is the guy that scammed me, you know. Like, I'm a pretty smart cookie is what I'm saying. But we get in these situations, people can perceive it however they want, but this is my story, this is my truth. And um I need to try to like have grace with myself and like find peace and just be able to say, like, okay, you know, like, I had my 5 minutes of this is sucks, this is shitty, like, whatever, and then I have to pick myself up, and then I have to just keep going forward because I have a mission, I have a goal. But this is what I am doing. I'm learning, I am coming to terms with, we just don't have the luxury of sitting around and being fucking pissed off and moping and crying. We need to make things happen. So that is the purpose of my channel, is to share my journey on that aspect, my mental health journey, and also my journey just in life in general, as I build out this van. And I cross my fingers that I can make it to Mexico at some point this year. I hope. I really, really hope. I really hope I could get out there within the next 6 months, but we will see. Hopefully by the end of the year for sure. But we'll talk more about that in other videos. Right now, I think I'll be doing my box. Take this carburetor off and see if this works. Go follow my other channels if you have not already. I am Liz Park on TikTok. My business is That 80s Queen on TikTok. I also have Create with Christine on YouTube. I am also there. I have print on demand shirts and things like that. I have tons of different products, and I also have a Posh, a Depop, and a Mercari, and I'm also on eBay. You can find everything in all my links everywhere. So I sell vintage stuff. I got all the stuff. So if you want to support me in some way, shape, or form, there's ways to do it for free. There's ways to do it monetarily. And without further ado, let's work on this van. Bye. Okay, as you can see, this is the carburetor, the top piece that I have removed. So this is the bar that I was talking about. This other end is where the throttle hooks up to, and this is the piece. You can see here that you can clearly see that it's broken. Here is the other end of it, and you can see right there where it's broken. And then the little L shape that I was talking about. So when that's connected to there, I don't know, it somehow lifts this piece, or, you know, maybe I had it positioned under whatever piece it's supposed to go on wrong. I am not exactly sure, but I am going to loosen this and I'm going to try to glue it right now. So the JB Weld is not going to work. In theory, it will work. But the problem is, like, the piece is so tiny, it takes 15 minutes to set up. So I need like some kind of a way to like mini vice grip it or something, like to hold the pieces together until it's, you know, set up. And then I think, like, in theory, it will work. You know, I've been letting the piece sit here, and I came back to it because it didn't want to stay together. And now that it's been maybe like 10 minutes, so it takes like 15 minutes to set up. So I tried to like push the pieces together at the last bit of tackiness with the hope that maybe it's going to hold, but I would literally have to sit here and hold the two pieces together. And then, you know, I can't really guarantee that it's the exact, you know, whatever little millimeter of a fucking increment if it doesn't glue back together the right way. Like, yeah, it's probably not going to be trustworthy to put that carburetor that way. So I gave it a shot. I guess I just wanted to see if I could get that to put together, just so I could see if the fan would start. But I guess I'll do the carburetor tomorrow. And in the meantime, I do need to fix the two holes in the piece. So I'm going to see if I can get up there, scrub those areas off, and clean them. And I have this like sealer stuff that I bought before. I think Okay, so as you can see, I'm taking advantage of the fact that it's a nice day and I'm trying to stay outside and get some sun and not just be cooped up in my room where I am going to otherwise think about my tragic situation. So as you can see from the time lapse, I've just been emptying the van, and I am going to go forward with the mantra that this van is going to run. And as late as Saturday night, I am going to be leaving to Portland. It's only like a 9-hour drive, 9 something, right? Without stops, which I will have to stop because I no longer can drive that long without trying to nap or rest for a certain amount of time in between. So, and I like to stop along the way, see if I find any thrift stores, or just if I'm taking a break, I might drive behind shopping centers and see what I can dumpster dive. That's me. That's the life of a junker. What can I say? I'm going with the manifestation that my van will run and that everything will be okay. So I'm cleaning everything out. I'm trying to decide whether I want to get rid of this couch that's in here because it did not go to this van. It's probably from like a mid-80s camper van. It's it's a really good piece. I'm keeping it because I wasn't sure if there was a way I could incorporate it into my van. So I guess I'm going to talk about it. Let me turn it around. I probably did make a video about this at some point, but I have so much unedited fucking video from like when I was in Tucson when I was first getting this van together. So anyway, this folds out into folds down into a bed. It's an all metal frame. It's super freaking heavy. And what I was thinking is of building like a platform back there and putting it so that you can move the couch and look out and then put it down to be a bed. It got faded, and then because of that, and then when I tried to clean it, now it's starting to rip, and the fabric was almost new. But yeah, I let it sit out in the Tucson sun for at least a year. So it can be recovered pretty easily. So that's why I'm keeping it, because I'm like, it could come in handy. So I probably am gonna keep it. I can throw my other. I have like a food container I can throw on top, and then I can use it too. So that's the cleaning. got some Trader Joe's. As you can see, I put the couch up where I said I was thinking of putting it to see like how it would work. I don't remember if I've ever tried that out before. Obviously, I'm not leaving it there. It's not sturdy at all. I will still have to build some kind of platform to attach it to so that it can swivel. But I do think I kind of like it. I just got to see how, counter space for the stove and things. And I guess whether or not I would be able to have a potty. I guess I could put a potty under the couch. But I definitely don't think I would have room for a shower. And I was hoping to get a shower. So it is the end of another day. I got a lot done today. I kind of want to say I feel like it wasn't anything that was important, but I know that that's not true because everything is important. And I would have had to clean out the van at some point, and since I was waiting on the parts, I just took advantage of today being so nice, and I hope it stays nice the rest of the week. I'm actually going to check on the weather right now. Because yeah, then tomorrow I can put in the carburetor and pray that it'll start. That will give me time to take some of my stuff over to storage and sort through and see what I want to fit in the van. I am probably not going to bring all of my stuff with me. I think that I am just going to bring the bare bones with me because I'd like to have some room in the van to sleep. Because I don't know that I want to spend money on a hotel. Because especially after my phone being stolen, like the budget is zero now. So, but we'll see. Again, we have a lot of variables that could happen in between now and then. So we'll see what happens, but that's going to close out this video. So thank you all so much for being here. Again, please like, subscribe, share. Check below for links to all my socials, and I'd appreciate a follow across social if you could. All right, bye.